Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. We're going to talk about cars, used cars, new cars, but really we're going to talk about Carvana. Carvana has been in the news a lot lately, and I've got some news that's really interesting. Carvana is driving some customers crazy with delays. We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about the bigger picture when it comes to Carvana and the auto industry and how they are imploding and they are going to take the industry down with them. So first off, I'm going to link below this story. It's a local news story that talks about Carvana promising to simplify car buying experience, but things are getting a little complicated for some customers. It says here, the online car dealer is facing a growing number of customer complaints and legal issues around the country. And Pennsylvania customers, the local Pennsylvania news outlet, are right in the thick of it. I'm going to link that story below because they are facing in the last year massive amounts of complaints because of delays of delivering cars, and not only that, but also getting them their vital information like the license plates, things like that. See, in the beginning, Carvana wanted to make everything streamlined, and it has not been streamlined. As a matter of fact, they've been plagued with all kinds of issues. But one thing that will blow people away is how much, I don't have the numbers with me, but the sheer amount of money that they spent on those structures all around the US that, think about it, will soon be, when they close their business, obsolete and worthless. Those structures really can't be used for a whole lot. There's going to probably be somebody that goes around and buys up those pieces of property and renovates them and does something neat with them. But my point being is that the amount of money they put into advertising and those buildings just is immense. But on top of that, Carvana got themselves into some very serious trouble. You see, they wanted to make sure that the car buying process is easy, and one of those ways was offering more than they should have paid for the vehicles. And Carvana went out and they spent a ton of money buying up used vehicles. They'd make it simple and easy. They just like they advertised. You'd get online or get on your app, you send a photo, VIN, things like that. They give you an offer, and boom, before you know it, there's one of those fancy little trucks coming to pick up your car. But the facts are they overpaid for these cars, and they just wanted it to be easy and fast. Now, with the used car market absolutely imploding and the new car market imploding because of not only supply chain shortages, but really it's the inflation coupled with interest rates, right? People are not able to afford what they could have afforded a year or two ago. So now Carvana is sitting on a ton of inventory that is priced much higher than what they can sell it for now. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now it says, right here, CNBC a week ago, Carvana downgraded by Wedbush with shares down 90% this year, and the business model is sputtering. Now, with its stock down so much, Carvana is going to find it darn near impossible, without diluting the heck out of its stock and destroying shareholder value, to be able to raise more money to get themselves out of this, okay? Now, the other thing that I believe is going to happen is Carvana is such a big buyer, or was such a big buyer of used cars. Now that they are no longer going to be buying used cars because they have so much inventory they're sitting on right now that they're going to have to get through, you're going to see people have a difficult time now selling their car. On top of that, the sheer amount of fallout, because every time Carvana has to either face the facts that stock has been downgraded, or come out with quarterly earnings that prove what is exactly going on, and what I'm telling you is happening behind the scenes right now, and that is that they're hemorrhaging money and their sales are falling off of a cliff. What happens is it exacerbates the problem, and it causes fear in other online retailers of used cars. And so what are they going to do? They're going to try their hardest to sell the inventory they can with steep discounts, and they will stop buying used cars, all right? So what we're going to see is, remember, most people do not have the money to go and buy a car cash. And not only that, out of all the people that usually finance, their financing is based on the ability for them to sell their previous car. If they don't sell that previous car, and they won't have the down payment, or because that previous car usually has debt tied to it, they can't qualify for the new loan. So what you're going to see is you're going to see it snowball even faster. I believe that honestly by the first quarter of 2023, we are going to see absolute chaos in the repo market as far as banks having to take cars. And right now it's already at an all-time high, but I think it's going to get even worse, especially as fear hits the market. Now it says here 2 weeks ago, Carvana stock crashes as used auto prices continue to decline. You see, the more that these headlines come out, the more it really ingrains in not only the consumer, but the investor's mind that the auto industry is not to be trusted, that this is not a good deal. So not only is Carvana dealing with headwinds of interest rates and inflation for the normal consumer, it's also dealing with consumer complaints. And that, I think, is going to spell absolute destruction for Carvana. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if by January 1st we see a Carvana bankruptcy announcement in the works, or full blown, hey, we're going into bankruptcy. Because, and the only thing is, you're going to also see, depending on how the courts deal with it, you're going to see, and the share price reacts, you're going to see other online auto dealers sell as well, go into bankruptcy as well. I'm going to be honest with you, with CarMax, with their fixed pricing, hey, that's it. And CarMax, every time I went into one, they're so overpriced, it's absolutely insane. I believe that you're going to see a day where CarMax also closes their doors. And it's going to be because the first domino that fell in the online vehicle sales category is going to be Carvana. So I guess they're patient zero. Good luck, Carvana. I wish you well. All right, guys, with that being said, we're going to have some awesome times buying up some awesome deals on cars, but we have to wait for blood in the streets, and it's just not there yet. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.